Okay. It is time. It has become time. Hi, everybody. Give me a second. Hi. Hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Happy holidays. Hello, welcome. Okay. All right. Wow, there's already so many people here. Jesus. Okay. Sorry for waiting. Hi. Welcome to the holiday stream. If you were here during Halloween, I changed colors. It's the seasonal color change time. It is a very important holiday today. So, yay. This whole week is a holiday that I celebrate, so I gotta get festive. Okay. Ooh. Sorry, I had to have a stretch. Well, welcome, new and old, returning and new faces. Welcome. How many people are new? I saw a couple people already say it's their first time. Well, welcome if it's your first time, and welcome back if it's not. So I guess I should probably just give a quick statement before we start today. If you're on the Discord, I hope you saw this already. Hopefully you read my announcements when I make them on the Discord. But I have officially closed all critique submissions. Okay? Which means that you cannot submit in any chats for live streams at this time. So if you were looking to submit something now, it cannot be done on stream at the time. I've paused everything. Not only am I really behind, but I am not going to be able to stream as often starting February. I'm going to be starting grad school in February, so that means I will pretty much have, between my job and school, I'm not really going to have that much time for streaming, so I'm probably going to be leaving streaming to just more like chill stuff, where I'm going to maybe draw a little bit or animate, more like that kind of streaming. Maybe I'll play some games or something. So the critique stuff is kind of going to be taking aside. I got to get my education. Just so you guys know, I mean, I've known this has been coming for a while. I mean, obviously I've known I've gotten into grad school for months now, but I just want you guys to be aware. However, that doesn't mean critiques aren't stopping with me in general. If you are not in the Discord, I highly suggest you join the Discord, because if you're in our Discord and you have to read the rules, it's very important you read the rules, okay? Because I have a feedback channel in my Discord that I've seen so many people use, and you won't just get my advice. It's open for everyone to give feedback. So if you're struggling in art in general, or maybe you're just working on something and want some help, I highly suggest you go to the Discord. Everyone there has been so helpful. I've noticed, if anyone in chat is in the Discord and can confirm that you've gotten some good feedback in the Discord server, because I've seen some great advice being given and lots of great help being given and lots of people asking for help, which is really great to see. Definitely join the Discord if you're looking for advice on your art. But yeah, my Twitch streams are going to be less rigid. I'm not going to be doing it twice a week anymore. It's probably just going to be whenever I feel like it. This isn't till February, guys, by the way. I'm still doing the normal thing until February. Right? So don't worry about that. But when that comes, it's kind of just going to be I have some free time and I want to draw something. I'm going to hop on stream. So it's going to be very random when I stream, starting next year, so just keep that in mind. So I'm not disappearing, I'm just gonna be less active. Where can you find the Discord? You can find it below here on if you go to my about and you scroll through my panels, you go through all my panels, there's a Discord one and you can click it. But please make sure you guys read the rules. A lot of people join the Discord and then they're all like, why don't you have a general chat? Why can't I chat in your server? I'm like, because somebody didn't read the rules. My server's locked. So in order to access the entirety of the server, we need you to approve that you will follow our rules. Unlike most Discord servers, I do not allow chaos. All right, so it's a chill time in my server, and so if you are not going to abide by our rules, we will punish you. So you have to agree that you accept them. So just be aware, if you're in the server, you have to do that. So a lot of you who might be in the server right now and are like, why can't I do anything? It's because you didn't read the rules. Keep that in mind. Okay. With that out of the way, let's begin today. I wanna try to get through as much as I can. Now I'm still in the beginning of October. So, I mean, how long are we going to take on some of these? I don't know. I'm going to do my best. I'm not streaming at all next week. It is officially a holiday break for me. So the next time I'm going to do critiques again isn't going to be for 2 weeks. So I want to try to get through a good proportion of what we have. Just so, because then I'll only have January really. Because I'll feel bad if I what's it called? Like, miss people and I stop critiquing. So, I don't know. I might need to do a longer stream. We'll see. But, with that in mind, I'm going to pull up the first one. And we're just gonna hop right into it. Okay, whoa, why is it sideways? Okay, so here's the drawing. And I gotta read what it says. Hold on. This is from Cookies Are Good. They just want any advice. And they like it a lot. Okay, sure. You got it. Alright, so here's this drawing. I guess this is a little pencil. Maybe for this one, because I think my new goal is oh, you're here, great. So I think my goal, because it takes so long to talk about every tiny little moment in everyone's art. So I think what I'm going to be doing from now on, just so I can make sure I get through everybody's art, is kind of focusing in on a specific topic, and that most likely for a lot of these is going to be anatomy, because that tends to be just the most common thing, unless somebody specifically asks for something else. So I don't know if you guys in chat kind of agree with me, but I think from now on we're just gonna really focus on anatomy, unless specifically they want something else talked about, like coloring and stuff like that. Unless there's nothing to talk about on the anatomy, and then we can talk about coloring. So I just think that maybe we'll get through more of these if we kind of just focus on one thing. Okay. Yeah, I'm literally so far behind, and I'm going to be stopping soon, so I want to get through. Okay, let's break this down. So we're seeing the bottom of the head, so I'm just going to kind of break some structure. That's good. You got a love-hate relationship with anatomy. Relatable. I don't know. I used to, when I first started drawing, I didn't ever practice it because I didn't know. I didn't have classes like that. I just had art classes from my school, high school, public school classes for art. It's not like I'm learning anatomy there. So I didn't know anatomy at all for years. I don't think I really learned anatomy. I didn't really learn it in the camp I went to either. I feel like I didn't really learn it until I got to college, honestly. At all. Yeah, art school definitely helped, I'll say that. I think I've shown my old, I did a whole stream where I talked about my old art. But like I had like no necks for the longest time, or like chin boobs. Like I drew boobs on people's up on their necks. It was crazy. Okay. All right, so I guess we can talk a couple things. I like how the head's looking down. That's really cool. That's a hard thing to get, and it's definitely armor will help you so you don't have to draw all the things. But I think if this is like the angle, it's like at a side view, and I think this right shoulder's right. But the left shoulder feels a little too high up in comparison to that one. Also, chat, if you guys notice anything else, feel free to add. And I also think maybe the butt's over a little too much. Maybe. The legs are definitely uneven. He's got very small legs, but they're not even. I think you're going for... Are you going for some foreshortening here? Which is great. But it definitely could be pushed more. I suggest getting a reference picture. Or I know a lot of people like 3D models. And then these two arms feel like different lengths. So I think if we're gonna match, the right elbow should still be there, and then the hand will fall farther down, right? Okay. Does that make sense? You didn't put effort into the wall. You gotta put effort into it. Come on. Gotta commit. Just gonna take the character out real fast. Okay. So I wonder if I just do this. You ready, guys? What if I just pull it? Thoughts? That definitely helped already. I think this foot's got to be bigger. The wonders of squishing. And then I don't know if I can like draw it in, but the arm has got to be down here, right? Pretend I drew the armor. More foreshortening. That already just felt like a nice change. Okay, thoughts? I think that's nice. Just simple. I'm gonna extend this leg a little longer, actually. Okay. Sure. I don't know if any of this is viewable, but okay, the wall. What can we do with the wall? actually. Yeah. I think we just gotta fix up the angle a bit. Okay. Alright, I think that's like it for just the shifting. I think it's just, it was too heavy on, I'll show you when we reveal it, but it was too heavy on the right side of the angle, so it didn't feel even, if that makes sense. So all I did was really just expand the left side of the body so it matched, and that's it. I really didn't have to redraw anything, and made this arm a little longer so it matched the other side. That was kind of the basics, as well as squishing the wall a little bit. I guess something I will say, I've talked about hatching before. I will say this: if you're gonna do hatching for your shading, commit to that being what, like, if you're gonna commit to that being the final, it's got to be clean. And I think what the issue here is it's messy. Like, you're going outside your lines a lot. There's no, like, you're not following the form of it. So, like, this head, like, you should definitely be working in the direction that the thing is moving, right? Instead of going away, right? If you're gonna follow this, you follow it. Same for all of this. It also will help show the form better. But definitely commit. Like, you got a lot of messiness happening here. And I think it's definitely, I could tell, I think you just got tired of drawing this. I could tell you got a little tired. And that's honestly a problem with, like, hatching, is it's very time consuming. So definitely, if you don't, you could just do outlines, honestly. Like, if you don't want to do line art, like, or if you don't want to do hatching, like, you don't want to shade or anything, just leave it as line art. Like, you don't have to do hatching if you think it's going to be too time consuming, because it does take a lot of patience. And yeah, I don't like hatching because of how long it takes. For that reason, it's very time consuming. But if you're willing to you know, push on through it, it'll look cool, you know. Yeah. No, messy hatching isn't bad, but look at this. It's, like, out of the lines. Look at this. Do you see how it feels? It feels as though there's a difference between messy with a purpose and messy with no care. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, just, you know, put some love into your hatches. Okay, let's reveal it. All right. Okay. We got the new and the old. Like I said, it wasn't crazy different. But we kind of just pushed out the body to feel as though he's sitting there. Oh, new, old, new, old, new, old. I hope that helped you. Oh, cookies are good. Hopefully that was helpful. Just yeah, make sure your body, like, lines up. And definitely don't be afraid to look at a reference. Yeah. Yeah, references are great. Commit. Don't give up. That's always what happens, is, like, people, like, me too, I do it all the time, where I'm like, oh, I'm drawing something, and then I get to a point where I'm, like, bored of drawing it, but I've drawn it for so long that I feel like I have to commit to finishing it, but I don't like the drawing anymore. Like, sometimes it's okay to just throw something to the side and not work on it anymore, if you're not feeling it, you know? Okay. Alrighty, is this an OC critique? Huh. Is anyone in the Discord and can look at it? Jamin's submission. Is this a OC critique? The old one's the colored one. Hold on. I don't want to do this if this is an OC critique. Yeah. I might have to skip it. They're saying this is a redraw of my OC Artemis. What do you think? I understand about the hands, not a fan of drawing them. I'm unsure. I guess... Yeah, it's an OC, but, like, is it... Like, I've critiqued art that's of OCs, but I don't know if this is specifically an OC critique. You know, there's a difference between, like, critiquing the arts, like, the art itself versus the character. I don't want to do... Okay. Some people are saying it could be... Okay, well, I think the second one is the second image is the new one. So that's the one we want to talk about. I guess we can just quickly look at it. I feel bad skipping because I can't really tell. Oh, I didn't want to open that. Go away. Okay, people think it's an art crit. Okay, I will do it then. I can't tell sometimes. Sometimes people post in the wrong places and I can't tell if that's what they meant. Okay. This is from Jamin, and it's their OC Artemis. This is the second one I pulled up. The first one is an old drawing, so we're going to talk about this drawing. I think there's the one on the bottom is the one I think we're going to talk about, because it's more full body. This one down here. And since it's just a sketch, I guess we can talk anatomy. As I said, most of the things we're going to probably talk today are anatomy. So I'm going to break it down pretty quickly. Okay. Tail. All right. So I think a lot of you already went through it. In the chat, I see some people already saying stuff, but yeah, definitely the head's pretty large, and I don't think this is a chibi art style, right, guys? Like, this doesn't feel chibi. Usually chibi art, that big head is totally fine, but this doesn't feel chibi to me, especially if we look, there's like another drawing of the character that looks a little more chibi in this. This one here, this one feels more chibi. So I don't believe that this is the vibe. The chibi vibe is not happening here. So definitely we want to make sure that the head is proportionate to the body. That's for sure. Definitely think that there might be too much forehead. Which is an interesting difference, and a lot of people tend to do little forehead. So, I mean, good for you. Yeah, smaller face chibi, yeah. You know what, I'm just gonna start doing quick changes. So I think if I just, let's try it. Usually if I just squeeze, it usually helps. It usually solves a lot of problems if we just squeeze. Yeah, look at that already. Perfect. Squeezing helps everything, always. The amount of stuff I squeeze on my own art, let me tell you. Already it feels a little more, maybe even more squeeze. I think I'm going to have to lower the head a little. Because I think the forehead is still a little big. Okay. Do a little bit more. Okay. Let me select just the head so I can kind of play with it. So I think it feels a little lopsided too. Does anybody else feel lopsided in the face? Or am I alone on that? Like this. Yeah. Yeah, these ears too feel lopsided. See if we can center them a little more. Okay. I don't want to make the head too small. Make sure it looks right. Okay. That's better-ish. Oh, whoa, I moved it too far over. Their head's doing a little jig. They're dancing. All right. Okay. So when it comes to the collar, we're going to want it to kind of go back like this. So it should kind of, think of it like a bottle cap. That's kind of how I like to think of things like collars and stuff, is I think of it like a bottle cap or like the top of a cup, right? Like if I have a cup or whatever. Definitely think of it like this part. That's what I think of, like things on the neck, like collars and stuff like that. It's just a good way to think of it for anybody out there. I find that imagining like a shape similar to the shape you're going for tends to help a lot. Like relating it to something else that you might be a little more familiar with. If that makes any sense. That's not what I want to do. I want to just move this whole thing. A hoodie? Yeah, that also would have the same collar vibe, though. You know what I mean? Like, it still would have... I think it's like a sweater. Right? Because it's like closed. That's what I thought. Okay. It feels a little more even now. So the shoulders, if we're going to have them go up, make sure... Definitely, lift it from here. Right? And I think your arm, like the one down the waist, I think is the right length, but the one that is down, I believe, is too short. Even though it is being lifted up, it's still a little short. I think in general, actually, I think the whole waist is a little high up. What do you guys think? Do you guys think the waist's a little too high up? Or are they just wearing really high-waisted jeans? What do you guys think? Thoughts? Is the elbow is the whole waist too high, or is it just the arm? What do you guys think? They're just high-waisted. Waist is too... Uh-oh. No, you guys! We have to come to a consensus as a group. A collective agreement. Okay, I'm seeing majority both. Oh, a little of both. Could be a little of both. All right, let's kind of like lower the waist first. See if that helps a little bit. The whole body just feels small. Yeah, the elbow too. Get a little more point. The arms are too long. Whoa, that's a different one. That's a different vibe. Interesting. You know, they also feel like different thicknesses, right? Like, does anyone see how, like, one shoulder feels fatter than the other? Like, he only worked on one arm. You know what I mean? He only worked out one arm. Let's see if we can kind of even out his... And yes, I am holiday colors. That is correct. He also is, he's also lifting up his arm. So his thigh, yeah, his thighs are probably uneven. There's a bit unevenness. We got it. We can definitely, because this is traditional. I mean, if you got a ruler on hand, I highly suggest whipping out a ruler. Rulers help a lot. He feels very chest heavy. Let me do this. Now I feel like now I feel like his shoulders are too wide. Maybe maybe instead of making them wider, we should make them thinner. What do you guys think? Thoughts? Chat? Should we make the shoulders less wide? I feel like just the wide shoulders don't fit the thickness of his chest. You know what I mean? He's got a really thin chest and then really broad shoulders. They don't feel like they match. Any thoughts? You like the broad shoulders, just make the arm. Maybe, yeah, maybe if the chest itself was wider, that could match. Let me try it. Let's try making his chest a little wider. Let's see if that helps. Like the whole leg. The leg length. Did that help a little? What do you guys think? I definitely... Okay, that might have helped, yeah. Yeah! Okay, chat, thoughts? Let me just quickly make like a random background color. The drawing does keep getting smaller, you are correct. That's an accident. Yeah, I liked that idea. Making the legs a little wider. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's not going to be perfect, but I think this is good. I think, okay. I guess let's talk, let's just go through what I did, and then we can do a little reveal. Oh, let me make it bigger so it actually lines up with the other drawing. Okay, so what did we do? Oh yes, I'm in Photoshop, whoever just asked, and I have a drawing tablet, so I'm drawing with a pen. We squished the whole head down. That was the very first thing we did. Because the head was very large compared to the body, and it wasn't chibi. And then I kind of just, like, moved some of the eye stuff just to be a little more proportionate, like, sideways. Like, I thought that the right side of the head was a little a little wider than the left side, weirdly. So I just kind of squeezed that in. And then we widened his body a little bit so it fit his shoulders. And we elongated the waist, which also then elongated the arm a little bit. That was kind of it. That's like the basics. And I think that already, he's great. A+. Let's reveal it. So here is the new, and there's our old. New, old. New. Wow. Crazy. How long is stream? Probably the same normal length. I don't plan on going longer, but we'll see. I might because it's the last stream of the year. We'll see. New, old. New, old. Yeah. I think this is a good start. Now he looks like a man. I like that comment. Okay, definitely a good place to start. I think just working a little bit on making... I think, honestly, if you're gonna start anywhere, just start with making the head the right size, and, like, that's it. Like, you'll probably pick up the rest as you go along. So that's it. Good job. Okay. Whoopsie. Alright. Yay, let's move on. Trying to go fast, but that obviously isn't happening. Okay, a little warning on this one. There's some cartoon blood on this, so keep that in mind. It's nothing crazy, but it's very cartoony, luckily. So, okay. This is from Mori, and oh, good. Okay, it's a real person that I can look up. Okay. Proportions and shading. Okay, so I like getting like real. Oh, hello. Well, welcome. You're here. Okay, I'm gonna get a picture of Patrick Bateman so I can see him. Is that the right angle? Is this the same angle? Kind of. Generally. Let me just put it over here. I'm gonna find another picture just in case. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Cool. We got some pictures to look at. Alrighty. Cool. I want to just break down his facial structure. I feel like this picture is probably the best one to use. So, let's see. You know what I might even do? I'm gonna cheat. Just so we can like see the difference, I'm going to overlay the head on top of it. I love cheating. Okay, this is a very easy way to make sure to find the differences. Let's line up their hairline. I know the references aren't the same exactly, but I think it gives the same vibe. Okay. That's terrifying. Yeah, I'm just gonna lower the opacity. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of just trace out what I'm looking at here, and then we can turn this invisible and see our differences. And then I might make a comment while we work. That looks weird. All right, let's see. Got our nostril, his mouth smirk. Okay. Got lots of like smile lines going on here. Okay. Big bushy eyebrow. Okay. You don't care if he looks like the movie version? Well, it's a reference. So, I think if we get his proportions right too, because I did notice a couple proportionate things going wrong in your drawing anyway. So if we have a reference to work from, it's a great place to figure out what is and isn't working in how your face is working. You know what I mean? Because if you had a face to look at, you can figure out how faces are proportioned in general. Because there are just some basic ground rules for faces that we can kind of follow. Lots of wrinkles. Okay. Okay, yeah. So, somebody said it already. The nose is definitely too low. For sure. Yeah. So, let's start with that. The nose is too low, and the head feels very disproportionate. Do you know what? Does that make any sense? Like, I don't know another word to explain it, but like, this is your center of your head. However, the chin is at a different angle than the eyes are, and it's also heavily on one. Like, the eyes are centered in the head, but the head itself is angled, if that makes sense. I don't know if anything I'm explaining makes any sense. And then yeah, the nose actually, like this here, this like lip thing, that's probably where the nose should land, most likely. One side's lower than the other. Yeah, I can see that. So let's... also, I don't know, just something in general about this, like, flat, cartoony nose. It just... Guys, what do you guys think about this cartoon nose in relationship with, like, this heavily realistic style? Do you guys think it's working in chat? Or should we go for more of, like, a realism nose? What do you guys think? Because I'm going to start with the nose. Yeah, the nose is angled. Correct. It feels out of place. Yeah, the nose is angled, but the face isn't angled. Do you know what I mean? Nose feels out of place. Feels off. Okay. You don't think this is realism? This is 100% realism, Happy Holidays. It's like, I'm thinking, when I, like, it's more in the vibe of, like, a Marvel comic. And that I would consider a Marvel comic to be way more realism than, like, cartoon, right? There's a lot more of, it's got that, you know, that, you know, does that make any sense? Like this, like here's a random Marvel character. Like she's everything about her is a little more realism than it is cartoon, right? There's like, I don't know what the name of this specific, like semi-realism, that's probably a good vibe for it. But it's this kind of vibe where it's like it's not realism, but it's not a cartoon. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's a name besides, I guess semi-realism works. But I think what they do in the Marvel comics is, you know, looking at these noses. Let me find another one. Semi-realism. Like, even these, like, they're definitely heavily stylized. Now, don't get me wrong, it's stylized, right? But it's still got more of the realistic facial features going on than, like, say, like an anime does, right? Or, like, a Western cartoon does. Like, Rick and Morty doesn't look like this, you know what I mean? They don't have realistic facial proportions in Rick and Morty. Yeah, realism is in realistic proportions. Yeah, I think that's kind of what we're going for. I mean, obviously you can stylize that, but why I bring that up is because I think that the nose, if we look at the noses on these two, they are a little more of that realism nose, you know? They have, like, the like, half and half. The artist is actually here in chat, so they said that they're not going for realism, but I do think that the semi-realism, although you can count me wrong if you're not going for semi-realism. Yeah. Whenever a non-artist looks at either semi-realism or semi-cartoon, they go, yes, anime. Oh, no. Oh, my God, the slander. Yeah, Bingus chair. Yeah, I like that. Like, it's semi-realism is realistic with stylization. Yeah, and I think, like, Marvel comics are very much, like, in that sense of semi-realism. I don't care about realism, just vibes. I like that. Okay. Well, let's just move the nose. We got off on like a whole tangent about realism versus that was funny. Okay, but yeah, I definitely think the nose should be a little lower down. We can keep the little cartoony nose. I think it's cute. But let's just move it down a bit. Anything can be anime if it moves. Wow. Alright. Chat, you're getting wild. Okay. And then I want to make sure that this head is centered more. Because it fell off a little bit. I have more hair over there too, right? Okay, already, with just that, all I did was kind of like move the head over a bit. I think if you have another one here too, so they're even, like the cheekbone, that's what it's called. Brain fart, haha, okay. There's only 2 art styles, anime and Marvel Comics, correct. Let's see if we can just even them out. Are these supposed to be these wrinkles? Are these like wrinkles up here? Definitely connect them if you're going for wrinkle. Because then they kind of feel like second eyebrows if you don't connect them. Just keep that in mind. I think, did you want to know about what you said? Coloring too, right? Yeah, shading. Okay. I definitely think we could talk about shading. Question, guys. Does anybody think that maybe the hair should be a little fuller? Does anybody else feel that, like, the head feels a little flat on top? Like, maybe we should push the hair out a little more? What are you guys talking about in chat? What are lime lips? Hair can be flat, but it just feels like it doesn't have like a skull because of it, you know what I mean? Let me try something. Yeah, just that. It just felt like, I guess maybe flat, I don't know if that's the word, but it felt like it was too down. I don't know what to say. My words go blah in what? What is going on? Isn't like the whole point of him is that he's supposed to be like hot? Right? Like that's his whole thing, is like he's a hot guy on purpose. Like that's the whole Bateman thing, right? Guys. Wait, what are Instagram white girls? What does that mean? I'm so confused. I feel like I don't want to Google line lips. Now I feel like I'm afraid to Google this. All right, I'll Google it. All I got was a picture of lips eating a lime. Is this what you guys are talking about? Is this a trend? I'm confused. It's just a picture of lip of like a mouth eating lime. What are you what does this have to do with anything? I'm so confused. What? What's a stereotype for what? Now I'm confused. Okay, let's move on to shading. Okay. I don't know what's going on today. Over realistically true. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about shading. I would love to see, because this is like, you're kind of going for more dramatic. Like, I would totally love to see you darken those shadows even more. And maybe add like a tint to them so they're not, this color. Just in general, especially if you're doing cell shading, it's really cool to work with a non-normal color in general. I don't know if that was the choice, actually. I'm undoing. Maybe that was too much. But even adding more red to it will like pop it out more. I don't want it to be the same as the hair though. And so, like, instead of shading to the yellow section, you go towards red. I think it'll help. You could go dramatic. You wanted it to be desaturated. Oh, this is a purple? Huh. It doesn't look purple. Sickly. Okay, let's try blue instead. Maybe that'll help. I will say, make sure you gotta, I will say maybe what it is, I don't think it's maybe dark enough. I don't know. There's something off about it. I'm not entirely sure how to say it. It doesn't seem purple to me. Blue could be a way to go. Makes it gray. Yeah, I think maybe even, let's look at that picture again. Because if I, no, not those. Where'd he go? Where's his face? Because if I look at the shadows on his face here, I can kind of use that as a guide. There's definitely more shadow going on under here, I think, than you have. I know you don't have a shirt, but there's still a cast shadow from the chin happening. And then, let's see, yes, under the eye, good. And I think even, you know what, maybe more lighting could help too. I guess, is the shadow's on this side? Where, I guess, where did you want the light to come from? How about I ask that? The left, so this side? Like here? Yes? No? This side? Yes? Okay, yes. Okay, good to know. Okay, let's work with it that way then. Just gonna flip. Okay, so I can look at that. Okay, so definitely we want more shadow on this half of the face then, right? Still would have shadow here, though. Okay, I'm gonna add a little more light too. This side of the face, right? Definitely more light. And then I think the same thing with these eyeballs. Could go darker. Oh my god, I'm kind of like ruining it. I'm sorry. I'm going way out of the lines. Ugh. I know you did cell shade, but you could always add like a second color that's like the middle, if you so desire. I always suggest a little bit of a middle. You know what I'll do? Sure, that works. You don't have to do it everywhere, but having something that isn't like super light or super dark can still add to the cell shade, and it'll add more depth too, unlike the stuff that's closer or farther. And I think it'll also help the weird color that you like. If you go for like a purple for your shadow or whatever, it'll also help that not feel strange. if you have like 2 levels of it. If that makes any sense, it'll feel less dramatic if we have like a middle dark. God, I don't know if I made it worse. I made it messier. That's for sure. Let's see with the hair if we have just a little more definition. Again, hair is hard to paint, especially when the vibe you're going for with this semi-realism. Definitely hard to get right. I think you are on the right track. For sure, I will say. But I guess it's just like, don't be afraid to test some other stuff out, you know? Oh, this started as hair practice? Well, hey, you know what? Your hair's pretty decent, so, good job. Hair is very hard to get right. All right, I definitely could do more, but I think for now, the definition is there. I think definitely lowering the nose and just making sure that the face is even on the head is a place to start. Yeah. Okay, before we reveal, anything else? I think that's it. Wonderful. Okay. Okay, so let's reveal. So yeah, it was really more like defining the shadows a little bit more out to help, because especially in this kind of vibe when you're going line art, you have no line art either, so when you do lineless, when you work lineless, your shadows will end up being what carves out your features. So making sure that you are following, definitely get a reference picture of something lit in that direction. It doesn't need to be the same face, but if you just find a face with that lighting to kind of look at, to match to, you can kind of tweak it from there. But yeah, so that's it. Old, new. Oh, I forgot I drew that. Old, new. Yeah. Really, we kind of didn't do much, honestly. But yeah, again, I think if you got working on, I know you said this was your first attempt, which is honestly, this is a pretty great first attempt, I will say. So good job. But don't be afraid to use your shadows as lines. That's for anybody. This goes for anybody who's doing lineless work, or just trying to practice drawing a little more realistic. When studying realism or using lineless stuff like that, it's important to treat shadows like shapes, because if you treat your shadows like a shape, it'll help you carve out the face a lot easier, especially if you're practicing portraits and stuff like that. And yeah, that's your shadows kind of help carve your features out. Because technically there's no such line art. Line art doesn't exist in the real world, right? So understanding shadows is kind of like understanding your line art. That's it. Good job. A+. Let's move on. We did that for a while. We got on a weird tangent there at some point, though. So, whatever. Start talking about line lips. Okay. Oh, have I... Oh. I don't... Have I done this person? I think I've talked about this person. When, though? That's the question. People who do line lists for fun are on another level. Yeah. You know what? I don't know. If I did this, I can't find it. So, I guess we'll talk about it. Okay. This is from Alex C. Hello? Alright, they didn't specify anything. So, I guess we can do what we always do. And do anatomy. Alright, Okay, yeah, let's break it down, baby. Okay. Head. It's a bit hard to see the shoulders at this angle, but that's, we'll figure it out. Right, I think this is the waist. And then interesting hands. Okay, definitely gotta talk about hands. Okay. I feel like the bottom half is okay. The top half feels like it's getting a little lost in the sauce. And I think there's just like, I feel like this is a pose that like you really have to make sure you are understanding what you're not seeing. Because it's pretty easy to get lost when so much stuff is crossing each other, just in general. So let's see what we can do with this top half. So let's see. I also feel like, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I was going to be holding up my weapons close to my head, I would want them to not be facing towards my face, right? Because then I'm going to chop my head off, right? It looks like he's like kissing his weapons or eating them a little bit, right? Feels a little off. Like that's not really how you would stand. Also, if I was holding my weapons and I was turning, I would have to turn my wrist inward towards my head to get to this pose, and then that means I'm like bending my wrists backwards, you know, to do it, which is kind of uncomfortable. So I would want my wrist to be flat, which means that basically what I'm getting at is at this pose, the weapon would go out, right? It wouldn't go in. Versus, right? Doesn't that make more sense? And also be more comfortable and also less dangerous. Yummy iron, guys. So wait, I'm gonna take a picture of myself for reference. Okay. Burp. Timer. No, where's my timer? Okay. Let me do another one where I'm holding something in my hand. Okay, I have reference. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think if we kind of just move the arms, it'll help, you know? Okay, so I took a picture. I just wanted to see what my hands looked like. So, at this pose, yeah, I would see way more of this. This is like my pretend I tried. Yeah. Okay. We want to angle this more. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to take the head out, and I might have to just completely redraw some of the hands. I don't know what the face looks like, so I'm going to guess. But that's okay. And let me take out the weapon, because I can put that back in easily. Okay. Goodbye. Now, I'm going to remove the hand section. Just this whole thing. Okay. Bye-bye. Okay. Let's see. Bear with me. I'm going to do a sketch version. So, looking at my ref, what's a better one? Okay, hand. Cool. Look at me drawing hands. Love it. Messy. Okay. Okay. You guys enjoying me drawing hands? Oh, I flipped it the wrong way. Why not duplicate? Am I right, fellas? I have another job. I mean, I teach art. One of the things I teach is animation, but I teach all arts. Art in a general arts teacher. 'Tis what I do. 'Tis also why I'm going back to school. So I can get a license. Cannot wait. Okay. Cool. You know, I'm just gonna do this. Perfect. Why try harder? How long is school gonna be? 2 years. It's grad school. I'm going to graduate school, man. I'm gonna get a master's degree. It's 2 years of my life. I gotta rotate it more. Will critiques come back? Maybe. I'm not gonna probably do them on stream. I've said it before, but like you can get crits in my Discord server, and I'm gonna try and like answer more of the critiques people ask on the Discord, because I feel like if I'm not gonna stream, I might as well do that. You know. You want me to? I'm not gonna give him fat. Oh my god, chat. Oh, you guys are wild. You're in your 7th semester of your bachelor's? What are you doing? Like, I know COVID hit a lot of people hard, but my gosh. Are you okay? 7. You're almost there. You got it. Oh my god, you got it. You're so close to being done. For your undergrad, you can do it. Are you just gonna like cram all of your non-art classes in one semester? Is that your goal? That's definitely a vibe. Okay. I gotta move the hands a little, but this is coming along somewhat. Sorry, I'm not really talking much. I got really like into this. I don't know what his face looks like, so I am going to just draw something random. How mad can I make him? Sorry. Okay, I can't do that. I feel bad. I'm just gonna give him a tiny sad face. Tiny sad face. I can't do that. I feel like that's terrible. I also don't really know what his shirt collar looks like, do I? I guess his collar's out here. I have no idea what this man's head looks like. All right. Okay. Sure. This is okay. Let's color it in. Lip gloss, guys. Cheekbone. All right. Color, 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 color. Okay. Y'all, please. Okay, I just realized that one arm looks bigger than the other. So, okay, we're almost there. A little bit more to do. This is taking longer than I thought it would. That's okay, I guess. Wah. Must make them even. Okay. So now that that's done, I think maybe what's missing is bringing this up a little. Possibly. Maybe actually widening it. Whoa, I made him a little wide. Yeah, actually. Okay. So I feel as though because I spent so long on that hand, we can kind of leave it here. Basically, I think the whole upper body, just like arm, was off. So make sure, like, it's very odd when the weapon was touching his head, pretty much. It was a very strange thing. So I think that's really just getting that pose, but to make like accurate sense to, like, make sure your character doesn't look like they're eating their weapon. I guess, makes sense. Do not be afraid to take picture of yourself. You don't need to own those weapons. I literally just held a pen in my hand, and that's it. And you can kind of get the same direction. Okay, let's reveal. So we have the new, we have the old. Yeah. Big man. Big man. Old, new. Okay. Definitely hands, something to think about. Hands are hard, but I think why I bring up hands, honestly, with this point too, is I feel as though, like, the rest of your drawing is pretty structurally good. You got a really cool, like, your art style, and I can tell it. So the next step is just to make sure that every part of it feels good, like, anatomically, and I don't think that those hands look great. Like, the face detail, the hair detail is so good, but then those hands just really stick out in this whole thing. So definitely draw a bunch of hands. I think you're at the point where you can just start practicing hands a lot. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Good job. Yay. Jeez, it's already 4:30. Okay. maybe I will go till 6 because I feel bad. Wait, have I done this person? No. Great. Okay, this is from Robot Bunny. Character. Okay. Is this drawn in Flip-A-Clip? Wild. Okay. Okay. Okay, furry time. As per usual, I am not a furry, so if anyone in chat has any advice, please share. Thank you. Whoa, what did I do? I didn't mean to do that. When was the last time I drank water? Like 2 minutes ago. You don't understand how much water I drank. Literally. I'm like a desert in my mouth at all times. Literally. You guys do not understand how much water I drink. It's like, my dehydration problem might be a bad thing. I feel as though something's wrong with me. But healthcare is too terrible for me to go to the doctor. Okay. Anybody have any? The arm pose is odd. Which arm? The one in the middle? Yeah. Trust me, I don't have diabetes. I would know. The one that's in between the legs. Okay. No, it's okay. I've been dehydrated my whole life, and I think at this point I would have known. I see my doctor yearly, guys. Don't worry. They would have told me if I had diabetes. Okay. Okay, I guess. I don't know. I'm always have a hard time talking about furry characters, but I guess I might just like pull a couple things out a bit. Yeah, you guys think the pose is weird. Okay. We can do that. I have an idea. I think we have to see the chest in front because of the angle we're at, right? Makes sense, right? We'd have to see. And this, I feel as though his arm is very skinny on the top, where it shouldn't be that skinny. Maybe, I think what could help is if the hand was flat, right? Because I think if the fingers were flat on the ground, right? It's like you're putting pressure on it so that you could stay up. Because I feel like using just your fingertips would be hard to control. Squeeze? I think that the legs are too... Yeah, this might help also. I think the upper body was larger. Maybe have more back butt. I feel like maybe we'd see more butt over here, right? Hmm. Okay, you know what it might be? I don't think we should see this hand over. Maybe we just move the arm over a little more. Like if we just see like half part of the hand like that. Or not at all. I literally went from drawing a great hand to a terrible hand. Look at the the dichotomy of an artist. You know, what I feel it feels as though this is mid-action. So I think what you guys are getting a little off here is this character is not still. It feels to me as though this character is pushing themselves up off the ground to look at the cat, right? So they're in the middle of an action, right? They're not sitting for a long time like that. They're kind of like they're putting pressure on their hands to prop themselves up. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. They're getting what? No. Why'd you push up between your legs? Well, because maybe their hand was between their legs before, right? Like maybe they were sitting cross-legged and their hand was between their legs, and then they just pushed up off the ground because that's where their hand was. Like one was next to them and one was to the side. Right? That could be where the hand is. I think the paws feel kind of flat. Let's see if we can unflat them. Give it some 3D. Okay. You know, I think that's okay. I think it just felt like we had to just kind of organize it a little better. So I guess, basics, I pushed out the hair a little more. So it felt like the skull was a little fuller. I also widened the foot a little to make it feel a little fuller. And then I put the torso in front because at this angle it would be in front. As well as like making sure that the shoulders are not, you know, they have shoulders and they're not just like noodles that are attached to their, and then definitely I think putting the hands flat instead of like showing the fingers will help. And I also kind of squeezed the torso in a little to make the legs a little wider. Oh, but otherwise I think it's solid. Yeah, let's reveal. Okay. We got our new one and our old one. Not crazy different, but like even just a little bit can kind of do a lot. So new, old. Oh yeah, we also defined out the butt a little bit. And yeah. New, old, new, old, new, old. Yeah. Okay. Yay. Say hi to you too. Okay, the next one's too sketchy. We're gonna have to skip it. Okay, this one. Let's make sure we haven't talked about them yet. Let's go. Next one. This is from Faust. Okay. What did they say? General for looking for gen critique, anatomy and coloring. And it is a fan art, and I can look for the original. Titan, Tact Op Destiny. No idea what this is. Okay, I've never seen this before. Cool. All right. Here's this character, I guess. All right. Whoops. So let's do a breakdown and go from there, shall we? Okay. I don't think this is terrible. I think this is pretty solid anatomy, honestly. The hands are pretty impressive. I wonder if it feels as though a reference was used. Like 100%. Although I will say the hands are a little funky. They're giving me AI, like I'm getting AI art vibe from that hand a little bit. So let's just do a quick, I think, because I feel like the lower half is pretty on point, but the head is a little funky, because I feel as though she doesn't have, like she has ears in her reference, but not here, you know? Yeah, the neck is a little thick. You are correct. I agree. How long do I stream for? Usually I finish in about 20 minutes from now, but since it's the last one of the year, I may go a whole other hour longer, because I feel like I barely did anything in 2 hours. So I think something that could help in this too is if we saw some more motion. I don't think I'm gonna edit it, but I'm just gonna like draw it. But I would love, because of the jump, like it would make great sense if the hair was also going up like this to show the gravity, right? Same thing with the clothes. We would have more of a poof, as well as these would definitely go up as well. And this as well. So that will definitely help push it more if we kind of, I might just warp it a little bit actually. Hold on. I'm trying to remove the background. Give me a second. Okay, way better now. Okay, so where was I? Oh, the eyes. Okay, yeah, we can do that. Let me first, I want to warp the hair a little to make it have a little more of a flowiness going on. Cool. That was easy. Okay. A start. I know this is a gradient, but whatever. Pretend I did that. Okay, and then the bows too, this part. And this one. Cool. That was easy. All right, good enough. Okay. So yeah, I just added like a little bit of a more of a like a flowiness to that. I think it adds. And then that hand, definitely want to work on that hand. It's like almost there. It's so close. You know? It feels like that pinky is a thumb. Right? Does anybody else feel like the pinky finger is more like a thumb than a pinky? Yeah. Really, today is like my testing my hand abilities, isn't it? I've done a lot of hands today. Really. They have not all been it, you know? Not all hands are created equal. Oh, man. Okay. Okay. Eyes. I think it's this eye. That's the one that's throwing it off. You feel like the only artist who likes drawing hands? Does anybody else enjoy drawing hands? Oh, there you go. You have a fellow hand lover. You're not alone. Okay, shading. They wanted shading. Okay, so somebody was saying it before, how they felt like the anatomy felt great, but it felt lackluster on the coloring, and I can totally see where that's coming from. Let's see if we can kind of do something about that. Okay, so I wonder if just in general, how do I boost the contrast? Whoa. Okay, anybody? Okay, so this is it with contrast up, and this is it off. What do you guys think of contrast? Can you see the difference? Let's do it this way. Okay, this is it on, and then that's off. On, off. On, off. What do you guys think of contrast? I feel as though the shadow is a little, I'm not gonna sit here and select vibrancy. No, because what I'm trying to get at is I'm trying to make the shadows darker. But when I boost the contrast, everything is gonna boost every color, right? So I think the shadows are too flat. So that's kind of what I'm trying to get at. Curves. Oh, smart. That could do it. Or not. I lied. Curves aren't it. There's gotta be, is it levels? Maybe levels. Maybe. I might have made it too dark. Yeah, because I'd have to sit here and select every shadow, and I am not about to do that. What if I try the old-fashioned way of hand doing it? No, that's gonna take too long. Bruh. No. Yeah, it's affecting the entire thing, which is not what I wanted. Okay, Great. Love when that happens. I mean, levels kind of did it a little bit. I think that's okay. Yeah, I feel as though either boost it more, but you know what could also do is like a second layer of shadow could help too. I think we talked about this a couple times today. Adding just one other moment of dark that's just a little darker. You know, will also help kind of like, you don't have to have it everywhere. And even having like a moment of light as well might help. I don't know. I feel as though the art, the art. If I color pick this, I don't know. This is the shadow. Yeah, I think look, the concept art shadow is darker. And this is, yeah, it has the same base but a darker shadow, which definitely is like, even the hair too has a darker shadow. Like here's the hair shadow. It's just overall darker in the anime one. Which could be what's doing it. It's like a very subtle darker, but it is darker. Yeah, it's not like a crazy difference, but just like, I don't know, just a subtle one. Anyway, all right, I think we're good. I think it's solid. Yay. Otherwise I'll be here forever. And I want to get to other ones. So yeah, I guess, what did we do? I gave it a little bit of a skull and added the ear back in. And then I moved the eye and that hand. Honestly, like I think I said before, the anatomy's pretty solid. Yeah, I think you're on the right track. I don't know what else to say. Anyone else? I think we're good. A+. All right, let's reveal. So we have the new. Whoa, never mind. We have the new. We have the old. Oh yeah, I also added some gravity. New, old. New, old. Yeah. Solid work. A+. Slay. I agree. All right, let's move on. Good job. What's next? Okay, this is from Will. Okay. Oh, don't be embarrassed. They just think something's lacking. Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. So I think there's like, what I'm seeing from this is what's standing out is, I think that you've got a strong character design. I like the anatomy. It's good anatomy. Okay. But what I think is an issue is there's like contrasting art styles here. Where like some elements are being colored one way while some are being colored a different way, and they aren't collaborating with each other well. It feels more like a dress-up doll. Does anybody else feel that vibe? Where it's like you just like slid like a PNG on top of the base, and it just kind of put it on it. Does that make sense? Do you guys get what my analogy? Where it feels like they just like slid an image on top of it. They feel like they're like layered on top, right? Like a little base. So I think you gotta pick a vibe, and I think your line art is the way to go because it's working. So honestly, I think if we kind of just line some of this, hopefully it'll help. Or you add lineless on the inside, right? So it's like either everything is lineless or nothing is, you know what I mean? Like you kind of have to commit. Or half and half. Like I like to do like some things are colored, right? And also making sure that like this would be angled, right? So you can totally mix colored line art and like not colored. But it should be everywhere, not just on like some clothing elements. I'm just gonna do all line art to make my life easier because it's easier. But if you want to do the lineless thing, definitely have to kind of combine. And I'm also gonna make sure it's on the body. Okay, and then some of these wrinkles they feel flush. There should be like a little bit of a gap between these things, and then it would kind of bunch up and around, right? So it would be like, I guess you can say. And then this sleeve is going to be down because of gravity. Yay. Well, I can't. What do you mean you can't? Of course you can do art critiques. Everyone can do art critiques. Don't let yourself stop yourself. I don't know. What's stopping you? All you gotta do is be like, hey, I'm doing it. Send me art. And then wait. Oh, streaming. I mean, like, you could kind of, like, you don't have to do streaming. You can kind of just... Like, I used to do them not streaming. Like, I would record, like, me talking over myself and then post a video of it. You know? Like, record it separately. You can take over? Got it. Okay. Okay, I think that's already pretty good. Gotta commit to the lines. Yeah! Not fixing feet. You know your limits. That's funny. Alright, you know, that's solid. I think it helped. It makes it feel a little more collective. Also, I wouldn't mind seeing more, what's it called? Oh, also, I feel like the fishnet things, I guess they're different lengths. One has more than the other, I think. Yeah. Alright, I think that's okay. Yeah. Really just kind of making it feel like it belongs together. And use gravity. Like I said, your body is solid. A+. I think now you gotta find that, like, that middle ground between lineless and, like, colored lines and dark lines. Speaking. English go burr. Okay. Sometimes I can't think of words. All right, let's go. That was great. A+. Easy peasy. Solid work. I like this drawing. It's cute. Cute character. Next one. Have we talked about this person? No. Perfect. Okay. This is from user Mutt. We have 2 different versions of this character in 2 different styles. I'm gonna just move it over so we can all see it. Okay. So I don't know. I guess, guys in chat, which art style do you want to talk about? Because I think we're just going to pick one. So do you guys want the little one or the big one? Little one or the big one? Big, big. 2 bigs, 3 bigs. Big. Big. We can still talk about their little one, don't worry. Big. Okay, big it is. Alright. Let's say goodbye to this one then. Okay. Let's break this bad boy down, shall we? Stream is gonna hopefully go for another hour. That's the plan. Whoa, I keep doing that. I gotta turn that thing off. Okay. Alright, let's break it down, baby. Okay, the eyes are uneven. Got it. Boop. Okay. Okay, anybody seeing anything? Because I'm noticing a couple things, but let's see what you guys have to say first in chat. Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna... Let me draw over it first. I think it doesn't have a skull. The waist is strange. Okay. Got it. Arms look off. Tail too low. Okay, okay, okay. Alright. Okay. Yeah, I think we're kind of all seeing similar things. Shirt seems off. Yeah, okay. Great. Let's go one at a time. So, I want to start with the head. Can I give it a little more? Oops. More skull. Eyeball, yes. I also, does anyone agree or disagree? Do you guys, the mask on the head, do you guys think it should be bigger? What do you guys think about the mask? I also think this is off a little bit. Or maybe move the mask a little bit. Yeah, it's like a I think it's like a festival mask kind of. So think like those Japanese festival masks. So I think it's supposed to be small. But I wonder if it's placed weirdly. It feels off a little bit. Like it's blocking things unnecessarily. Also, the angle of it feels odd to me. Making it bigger could help. Yeah. Yeah, it also feels like it's at a weird angle. Also, there's tangents! My favorite thing. My god. Don't y'all love a good tangent? I feel like tangents are my mortal enemy. I had a student the other day who I introduced what a tangent was to them. And I've had this student for a while, and it was like the first time I had a, like, because we do a lot of different projects, but it was the first project we did that was like character design based or whatever, that I could like tell them what a tangent was. As soon as they realized what tangents were, they literally had like a breakdown just staring at their art being like, oh my god. Like as soon as they noticed tangents, they couldn't stop noticing them. And it like freaked them out. And then they had to they sat there and they just like erased all their lines and like moved everything. And I felt so bad. I mean, it looked great when they fixed it, but now they were like panicking because they couldn't see anything but tangents. And they're like, no, now that I know about it, it's ruined. Is that poor student? She's like, she's like, thank you. She was like, thank you for showing me this, but also, why'd you have to show me this? This is it. I'm ruined forever. It was so funny. I mean, it improved her readability. She had a really complex character design too, with like, it had like 8 arms and like a lot. It was crazy. It was a great design, but there was just so much happening that I was like, yeah, we need to talk about tangents because it definitely made it way more readable. But my god, she was like, no. Yeah, I'm gonna let it leave. I feel like this is the art style. This is the kind of art style that will let the eyeball go outside of the head, right? And I think it works. Sorry, I noticed the eyes are also at a different angle. I feel like does anybody else feel like these eyes are 2 different shapes? Like one's a little more down than the other, I guess. Yeah, lazy eye. I don't know if that was a lazy eye. It just felt like one eye was like this, and then the other was like that, and that's more just not matching styles. Like it wasn't that dramatic. It was more like a smaller. It was like that, so it felt like they were trying to be the same eye, but they were just a little bit off. Hold on. Okay. Cool. I think these are ears, right, guys? So we're gonna have to move this for sure. Let me see that other character again. Huh, okay. They are coming... Okay, I see it. So they are coming from weirdly behind the head, but... Hold on. I do want to keep it removed. Hold on. Give me a second. The Discord link is in my panels or in the About section. You can find it there to join. Character is serving. A+. I'm gonna make this one a little smaller, just because perspective. 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 Okay. Alrighty. I think, the head feels better now. Okay, let's move on to something else. Body. The arms, to me, they felt too short. That's what I was getting. So... Let me put this back on top. Just so I can see it. Oopsie. The sleeve looks strange. Yeah, I think they're going for like this stylized, like puffy sleeve. A little bit. Oh, you know what? Actually, let me remove the tail real quick so I can come back to that. Okay. Now we can move the hand. I think the stylized thing is fun. But we gotta make sure that the curves are still making sense. Like on this side, definitely it feels odd. This has gotta be lower. What did I do? How do I decide what I post to TikTok? I try to post all of them, but it's much slower. I post mostly on YouTube, honestly. Like the full compilation goes on YouTube. I honestly, because I'm trying to get people to stop submitting critiques or starting, you know, like I'm trying to stop. I'm trying to get people to stop trying to submit art. So I've stopped posting. I'm trying to slow down how much critiques I post on TikTok. So people think I'm not doing them anymore. Because I don't want people to keep submitting. Because they're closed. People keep thinking they're open or whatever. And I'm like, no, we're done. Like, for a while. Stop. And then it gets out of hand. So I've been trying to, like, slow down my posting on TikTok in general, too. But all of the highlight stuff, like, all of it's just going to be one long video. I also have an idea. I want to make a new channel on YouTube that's, like, full streams that are uncut. And I'll just post the full, you like clout. Oh, my God. That's funny. Anyway, I'm going to be posting, I'm thinking of posting full streams uncut to a new YouTube channel. I just gotta make the channel. So, like, I'll even be posting all the old ones I've done. Just to make my life easier, because editing takes forever. So it's faster if I post the, like, non-edited ones first on, like, a second channel, and then once I get to the edited ones, I can post them. PM VODs. Yeah, I'm thinking of making that channel. It's probably gonna happen sometime in the new year. Yeah. That's the goal. And I'm gonna start with, like, all the old ones first, yeah. You want to see your art on TikTok? Oh my God. I mean, you could post your own art on TikTok. Go nuts. Okay. So, this feels right. I moved the tail up too. Although now that I look at it, I wonder if the tail should be going the other way. Because it's kind of, I don't know, or turned differently. Feels like it's competing with the hand a little bit. Whatever. At this point, I don't know, it's whatever. Okay. Let's move on. Anyway. Alright, so, recap. Can't be worse. No, TikTok is... well... TikTok's fame is easier than Twitter fame. TikTok comments are worse than Twitter comments. Tumblr is very good for art posting. I agree. There's just less people on there. I like Instagram for art posting, honestly. I think it's probably one of the best websites for art because you don't have to see text. You can just see people's pictures and also you can do videos on Instagram. Instagram Reels are actually pretty good. They get a lot of people use Reels. But yeah, Instagram's a really good place for art. Yeah, Twitter's dying. If you want to post your art somewhere, I would suggest Instagram because there's way more people on it. But hopefully, Tumblr is slowly coming back to life. But there's not really that many people on it. Yeah. Okay, let's reveal. So here is the new one, and here's the old one. So we pushed some of the, just pushed the head out a little more, and I moved the ears to feel like they're moved. Yes, I think Cats Are Friends is a great way to put it. It's easy to get attention on TikTok, but that attention is usually not good attention because people on TikTok, it feels like, it reminds me of like 4chan. It's like liberal 4chan. That's what TikTok is. TikTok comments are just it's like if the people who comment all the time on TikTok, if they were not liberal, they would be on 4chan. Like 100%. Right? Right? Yeah. Yeah, there's a mob mentality. I don't know. I think that's just most social medias, honestly, is like really toxic. I'm honestly like, if I could go not posting anywhere on the internet, I totally would. I have my brother, one of my brothers has never had a social media account in his life. I think he has a Facebook Messenger so he can talk to people, but he doesn't have a Facebook. He has never. The only way I know what my brother is doing is I follow his girlfriend on Instagram. Like, that's it. I don't know what my brother's up to unless I look at his girlfriend's Instagram. Because he doesn't have social media. And I aspire to live like that. He's got the right idea. But unfortunately with art, you have to post your art. I mean, like, it's just like a lot of jobs nowadays, people get work through Instagram. Like, Instagram's a great place, actually. If you get pretty good on Instagram, you'll get a lot of work. Yeah. There actually are people on Facebook who do art, but I really don't like. Facebook is a terrible. Nobody young is on Facebook, but there are people on Facebook. Anyway, I could talk about social media forever. I feel like social media in general is like a toxic environment. I don't know. I'm also like, I feel like I'm old and jaded at this point. I went through like the heyday of Tumblr. I feel like I've seen so much crap because I was like on like the prime of Tumblr that at this point, like nothing on the internet phases me anymore. I've seen the horrors. Okay, let's see this reveal again. Yeah. New, old. Oh yeah, I moved the tail up and the arms down a little. But yeah, I think I like this art style. Yeah. A+. I think now you just gotta refine it. Get your, like, anatomy a little bit, but yeah. What? Oh, no. Happy holidays. Don't. No. Yo, Zammy has so Zammy has the same name as me. So, like, when all the Zammy stuff was happening, I was like, it felt weird because her birth name is my birth name, and I was like, this is what, I don't know. It felt weird to me because I could relate a little too closely. But also like, God, she did not deserve any of that. God, Tumblr was terrible. God. Anyway. We went on we always go on tangents, don't we? Anyway, let's move on to another one. God, you make me remember. And you know what? I liked Zammy's art a lot. I was a fan of her art. I thought her art style was awesome. And I never noticed any of those issues people kept talking about. This one's okay, this next one I'm going to skip because it's like a screen. It's a picture from a phone. You can just send a screenshot. So I guess we're going to... Okay, let's go to this one. Actually, have we talked about this person? Yeah, I like, if you guys don't know Zammy070, totally look her up. I really like her art style. And I never noticed issues, you know? Like, because, I don't know, I liked her art. I thought it was, I like unique art styles, as you probably noticed just in general from my vibe. I like weird things, and she was definitely unique. And, like, the stuff people were trying to cancel her for, or, like, attack her for, like, that specific art I never saw until people started calling it out. So, I saw all her other stuff. I guess it was old stuff. I guess by the time I found her art, she wasn't doing that anymore. But, like, I felt really bad. I don't know. Just, my God. Like, she did not deserve any of that. But you know who did deserve it? You know who did deserve it? There's an artist. Oh, it's not. There's the Avengers. Who is the Avengers artist who drew? Oh, there it is. This person. RC Dart. This is the thing. They've gone on to, like, I mean, they're like anonymous online now. They don't know. RC Dart, if you guys don't know that artist. I feel like I've seen their newer stuff since they graduated. They've refined their style a lot more. But they definitely were drawing a little too very stereotypical stuff. It was a little problematic. But what the issue was with RC Dart versus Zammy is RC Dart fought back like rudely, right? Like people were calling them out and like they were attacking people back. Versus Zammy, who was just taking it and like was not like they were not being harmful back, right? I feel like a lot of the issue comes with a lot of artists who get like attacked online is when your art's personal to you, right? So if someone like comes at you online and is like making fun of your art, it feels like a personal attack. And I think what the issue comes in is when the artist then also fights fire with fire and tries to be as problematic back to the people who are calling them problematic, right? And it's just like affirming if you are mean and rude and problematic, you're affirming their problem with you, right? Exactly. Like if just in general, if somebody ever comes at you for any reason online, do not ever fight fire with fire. And I'm always a component of this. I even hate in my comment sections when people try to fight for me. Like there's a reason I don't respond to people who are being mean in my comments. Because you leave them alone. If you ignore them, it dies out. But if you fuel the flames, you're just as bad as the person who is fighting you, right? So just in general, just let it die, right? If you match their energy, it's going to make the problem worse. So I think that's the issue that happened with RC Dart. I mean, like they've scrubbed their internet thing. I actually was interested in where they went. They graduated. They were fine. Their newer art that I saw from their graduation film was same vibe, but like more like they figured their art style out a little more. I think it was less problematic of a style. It still had that shapey vibe, which I love shapes. Let's be real. I love shapes. But yeah, and like Zammy had shape art too, but like I don't know. Sorry, yeah, we went on a tangent. But I always liked Zammy's art. I thought it was very unique, colorful. And I don't know if they're doing anything today, but I hope they're doing good. I think I still follow them on Twitter. Oh, I do still follow them on Twitter. Yeah, they're still doing great. Zammy's doing great. They're making art. They make YouTube videos sometimes. But, oh yeah, they're into, I forgot they liked Osumatsu-san. Yeah, I mean, I like Zammy's art still. And again, it's all about your energy, you know? The energy you give is gonna fuel or not fuel. Okay, we got really distracted. Should we talk about the art, that we are looking at? Yes? Okay, let's talk about this. This is from Soft Boiled. It's just a whip. Okay. Their composition they're unsure about, and they're having trouble with the, like, sheer clothing of the moon guy. Okay. So, composition. Let's grayscale. Okay. Yes. Nice. I like the colors. I wonder if it feels a little squished. Just vaguely squished. I feel as though this moon guy... Like, the girl here has a lot of space between her and the edge of the screen. But the moon guy is a little more cramped in the corner. You know, I feel as though we're going a little... I'm just going to move him a little closer. Like, what if that helps? I also think the moon's a little too close to him. I feel as though we could separate them. Or move them so that the corner... Like, the points of the moon touching his body perfectly is... forming a tangent. So we could also move that a little bit. Vague. Or do we flip it? No, I don't like it flipped. I changed my mind. I thought maybe it would help. Well, what if we put the moon... Okay, thought. What if I put the moon... I'm gonna move the moon. The moon was separating them? Oh! Wait, I kind of like that, actually. Who said that? Whoever said that, that's a nice point. I like that idea. What was that sound I just made? That was like my exclamation. Whoa! Okay. I wonder, I feel like the body is a little funky, but that's okay. The sheer thing. Yeah, I mean, my suggestion, I know you're painting it, but a good suggestion would be, you're kind of doing it already, doing it with the opacity. What's an issue with the tangent? Oh, okay. Let me quickly show the old drawing. So, I mean, we're talking about composition here. So if I was to look at this very far away, what happens is it becomes hard to tell that they are not lined up, right? Like, the moon is supposed to be far away in the distance, right? Like, it's behind everything. It's in the background. However, because of the way it's all laid out, it feels as though they are directly touching, okay? And when it directly touches, they feel as though they exist on the same plane, okay? Meaning that this person and the moon are parallel to each other. They are in line with each other, all right? So, especially with composition, you have to make sure that when you move your stuff around that they feel as though the objects are, like, touching. No, I'm not talking about the arm. I'm talking about this right here. This and this, right? That's the tangent. That's the tangent moment, right? That is happening. The tips of the moon is what I'm talking about. That are causing that tangent. Touchies. Touchies. So yeah, especially because we're talking composition, and this helps too inside your designs too. It like makes it easier to tell like where one object begins and the other ends in general. So yeah. Honestly, there's cheats. Some cheap ways to like get around tangents is coloring your line art. If your lines are different colors, it makes it obvious that they're not the same. So that's it. A good way to do it. Another one is tapering. So if you have like, if you let your like your line kind of stop and then the other one begin, right? And there's a gap between them like that, you know, that's a way to get around tangents. Is just leave your lines open. There are a lot of tricks to like not actually draw tangents when you draw a tangent. So, but yeah, it's just like a general like composition rule to make things feel more believable. Okay, I think moving that a little bit was good. And I was going to talk about we got distracted. I was going to talk about the fabric. I would definitely suggest drawing the whole body in that color first, and then on top of it, you like lower your brush's opacity, and you kind of draw out the fabric, which is kind of what you've been doing already. You've been drawing the fabric, but definitely use layers. It'll help. I definitely think it looks a little see-through. I would just be very cautious of how blurry it's getting. I know you said this is still a whip, so I guess once you start rendering it out, don't be afraid of some harsher edges to your shadow. Because if it's a little too blurry, it'll feel, I don't know, it won't feel like fabric, if you get too blurry with it. So yeah, harsh edges are good. Okay. Yeah, I like this vibe. It is just a whip, so, I think, somebody pointed out putting the moon between them is great. And I think also I just kind of moved the left character more over, so it felt as though they had the same equal space that the right character had. But I like this palette's awesome. It's really pretty. I wonder if you're using like a generated palette. It looks like you're using like a limited palette, and it's really pretty. I love the blue, and the water's good reflection. Oh, I guess we just have to move the reflection of the moon, right? Because we moved, I just realized, we moved the moon over. So I guess this would be over here now, which I can then, yes. Okay. All right. Yeah, I like this one. It's cool. I don't know if they're ever gonna finish it. I haven't seen this finished. Oh, I don't know if Softboil's in the Discord anymore. But it's really pretty. I want to see the finished version. So definitely finish this if you haven't. It's really pretty. Okay, let's move on. Yay! Okay, so reveal. Here is the new one, and here's the old one. That's it. Just, we just kind of moved the left side a bit. That's it. I'll say a trick to compositions, when in doubt, put it in the middle. It's always a way to go. When in doubt, center. It always works, without fail. I have rarely seen a bad centered composition. It is the trick. Okay. Yay, I like this one. Moving on. 20 more minutes. Let's see what we can do. Can we do another one? How many more can we do? Okay. Okay. Cool. This is from X Scully. Okay. All right. I guess we'll do our normal anatomy chat, because, yeah. Yay. Okay. Cool. I like this. Cute. Simple. Simple is good. I love simple. Whoa. What was that? Okay. Okay. I feel like she should be looking down, right? Anybody else think like she should be looking down at the object in her hand? Or is that just me? Yes, okay. Okay. I think her legs are a little short. And her chest's a little off. Like, it's like we can't pick a direction that it's turned. I think we're seeing too much of that shoulder. And then I do think that the legs are a little short. Let's make them a little bit longer. We gotta make sure. Okay. I'm gonna have to add the smoke back in, don't I? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna add that smoke back in. Let me just add the color that's missing. Okay, so let's start with the face. I think the proportions on the face look proportioned nicely. I think we just gotta make them look down, right? So that they're looking at the thing that we want them to look at. Okay. Yeah, let's look down. So yeah, I'm gonna change the angle of this chest a bit. 'Cause I feel like we're seeing too much, just in general, we're just seeing too much. At the angle this is in, at least. I love the warp tool, man. What a great tool, the warp tool. Always, a common thing I notice is people will put their arm, like if we have a side view, what I'll see a lot of people do for the side view is, like put the arms like this, like they're still at the side. Even though we're looking at a different angle when it should be in front. That makes sense. It's just a common thing I see people do. Is put the armpit back, like the arm back, instead of forward. Oh, so long. Yes, we're almost done anyway, so don't worry. You won't miss much. Have a good holiday. I made it very messy. Sorry. I'm just trying to get the pose down. Alright, cute. Yay. Let's make the legs a little longer. And turn them a little. And then this foot is going to have to get bigger for perspective. Okay. Whoa. Is she leaning too much? Maybe. Also feels a little flat. My brush is getting so laggy. You can tell I've been at this. The longer I do this, the laggier my computer gets. The wind doesn't make sense? Really? I don't know. I think it's fun that it's blowing like in that direction. I think they did a good job of showing the wind, which is more than a lot of other people tend to do. So, kudos to that. I mean, like, I don't think it's like a super aggressive wind. Feels like it's just like a nice breeze that's blowing, right? If it was aggressive, I feel like the hair would be like, wah! Like your Jenga game. Oh my god. These analogies, guys. Bye-bye. Don't worry, guys. I think we're kind of at the end. This might be the last one, actually, because it feels as though I'm not going to have time to do another one. Okay, I think this is okay. Yeah. So I moved the chest to line up with the head's angle, and we moved the eyes down, and I also just kind of pulled out her skull a little bit more. And I made the legs a little longer. But she's solid. I like this vibe. I like her energy. I like the I like how you've colored. I did not add the smoke back in. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, she's cool. I like her a lot. Yeah, I like the style. I think you just gotta like make sure that everything is turning in the correct direction. Yeah, let's reveal. So here's our new, and here's the old. Yeah. New, old. New, old. Yeah, just making the angles match. Yeah. Okay, I think we're good. Yay, I'm gonna end it with this one because we only have like 10 more minutes till I want to actually end. So that's it. We've done it. I did a lot today. I'm shocked. Wow, I went through quite a few days. So that's the end of today. We did a lot of things. Wow, we did a lot. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We did 11. Yeah. Wow. Okay. This is it. Last critique stream of the year. Thank you guys. I mean, you guys, it's crazy how popular these streams have gotten. I was not expecting this at all. I'm glad people like this idea and are willing to submit their art. So I will be back on Friday for my chill vibe. That will be the last stream of the year this Friday. If you missed last week's, I am in the middle of making a pick crew. And we are going to be working on clothing and accessories this Friday. So if you're doing nothing, the eve of Christmas Eve, as they say in Ace Attorney, it was the night before Christmas. If you're doing nothing, you can come hang out and give some clothing ideas for my pick crew that I am making. Besides that, thank you guys. I hope you guys have fun. Thank you for the critiques, the joining the critiques and whatever. What time? It's always at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I always start at 3. Yeah, and I always do. I have a schedule on my Twitch. You can see as well. What was I gonna say? Thanks. That's it. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah if you celebrate like I do. And Merry Christmas if you celebrate that, but that's not yet. And then Happy New Year. And then Happy Kwanzaa. I don't know. There's a lot of holidays. Happy whatever. Yeah. So, see you guys Friday. And, until next year, I guess. All right. Bye.